everyone is different. We are made different. There's something, we may have the same color, the same voice, the same height, weight, whatever it is, but your soul is different. Your spirit, your background, the way you think is different. So you are unique already. God made you unique. So why not let it shine so people can enjoy watching your uniqueness?
Hello, my friends, and welcome to another installment of Coffee and Conversations, where we talk all about brewing a beautiful life and making bold, amazing choices. I'm your host, Jana Angel. Welcome back to Community Matters Cafe. And today, our conversation is really exciting. I'm going to need all of my Hallmark girlies to listen up, because if you've ever wondered how someone gets to the channel that's all about love, connection, community, and happy endings, I have our future Hallmark star and local, Angel Garrett. I am so excited and in my ultimate fangirl era that you are here. Angel, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So first of all, we obviously have to talk about the fact that you're in the midst of a really unique reality show called Finding Mr. Christmas on the Hallmark Channel. That's how we got connected. Producer Heidi actually saw this article come up about you, that one of our very own was starring in a Hallmark TV show, and
Thank
she
you,
said,
Heidi.
go find him. And I said, say less. I am nothing if not a woman determined on a mission. But there was a lot that happened before that, right? But first, let's just talk about the fun Hallmark show.
Yeah, Hallmark has been so nice to me. I got to be part of Finding Mr. Christmas season 2. I remember Lindsay Lyles messaged me on Instagram and asked me, "Hey, do you want to be part of this reality TV show?" And at first, I'm like, "Reality?
Right.
I'm an actor. I don't want to do reality. I'm sorry." But then she kept nudging, like, "Please check it out. Watch season 1. Here's the video." And then I watched the first episode, and that was it. I was like, you know what? Guys competing to be actors and be the lead in a Hallmark movie. I mean, sign me up.
Yeah. You're like, okay, this makes sense. This is on brand for me. But I actually love that you started with a no because something didn't feel right for you. And I think as an actor, as a performer, sometimes that can be a tough decision, because this is always about finding the next gig, finding the next audition. So I'd love for you to just kind of walk us through what your journey looked like leading up to this, because I know Hallmark actually has been a kind of a full circle moment for you.
Well, I've been trying to get that leading role for 13 years. I actually immigrated from Venezuela to Charlotte, North Carolina, so I'm a local. This is where my mom, my sister, and everybody lives. And I moved to LA 13 years ago, and I was just grinding, trying to get one role, just give me one. And I was working hard, taking acting classes, meeting the right people. I got to be in a great show called Will and Grace. I got a co-star,
Ah, Will and Grace.
and that kind of gave me a sign. You know what? You're in the right path. And then more little things started coming in, and then I got my first legitimate role for First Wives Club, and it was a co-star, but I was the love interest of the lead actress. And then pandemic happened, and I'm like, this is my luck. What am I gonna do? Then things are starting to move forward, and then First Wives Club calls me and tells me, "Hey, we want to have you back for season 2." Wait, what? Really? Let's go. So then I got to be on 3 episodes and recurring on this amazing show on BT Plus. That's now on Netflix, by the way. And then the strike happens, and I'm like, all right, this is my luck. Am I in the right path? What am I gonna do? But then Lindsay contacts me and tells me about this reality show, and the reason I say no at the beginning was because I don't like drama. I'm all about love and camaraderie and just, reality shows, Bravo and all of them, they're cool. Everyone is addicted to them, but it's just cutthroat. And I'm not all about that. I want to portray myself as someone humble. My mom raised me as a single mother, so I wanna always like do best for others.
Yeah.
And then I saw
Shout out to
season
mom. I
one.
love
Yeah,
that.
thank you. Love you, mom. Um, so then I saw episode one, and I fell in love with the whole concept, and like messaged her back. It's like, please, I want to be part of this. It was a whole audition process, like 5 interviews, psychology interview,
Oh, wow.
background check. It's Hallmark. They want to make sure who goes to Hallmark fits the profile.
The Hallmark brand. And like you said, but it actually sounds like, as rigid as that was, it sounds like Hallmark's brand was very in line with your brand. And I want to just take it back to that moment where you did have to say no. Was there a part of you that hesitated saying no, or did you know, like, no, this isn't going to be for me if it's standard reality format?
Yes, if it was standard reality format, it was a no, because so many people that I'm in LA that are my friends and close, and I see them as mentors, and they tell me, look, if you're in reality, you're gonna be cast as reality, and people are not gonna take you serious. So that was imprinted in my head.
Right.
So then I had to change my mentality. All right, it's not the typical reality. It's Hallmark. Is the community. Maybe if I do this, Hallmark will bring me back for a movie. You never know.
They will bring you back for me. We are manifesting here.
Please,
We are
bring me
bringing him back for a movie. We demand it. Okay, we're asking very nice. I'm not gonna say we demand. That sounds tacky.
So it was a battle in my head.
Yeah.
I actually talked to my wife about it. It's like, should I do it? Should I do this?
Yeah.
Is it worth it? We did some research, pros and cons, and I'm so happy I said yes. And I messaged Lindsay back.
Yes. Okay. So you've responded back to this, and obviously that's exciting. And you did have a little bit of that traditional reality experience. All the guys are in a house. You've got all sorts of challenges to do, but it's so fun. I've gotten to watch a lot of the episodes. I've seen clips on your Instagram page. It is like field day on steroids, though. There's a talent show. I mean, you guys have physical challenges, you have acting challenges, but it all seems very supportive and fun. And the competition is more of just that camaraderie coming together. And it all feels really in line with you.
Of course, I grew up playing soccer, and from the get-go, I learned how to be a teammate. A team doesn't win. There's no I on team. You have to come together and make things happen, just like you and your team here are putting this together.
Shout out to my team.
Yeah. So same for creating projects, movies, or reality TV. A team has to come together, and then even though we were competing, we somehow were cheering for one another and wanting the best for everybody. And if someone brings their very best, we have to bring it. Like, we have to make it hard for everybody.
No, I think that's great because it's something we've actually talked about on the show before, especially with our people in the performing arts. They've just said you have to come to a reality point of saying, I'm only competing with me. I'm not actually competing with the other people in the room, because you only have control over how you deliver your script, how you deliver your lines, how your audition process goes. So did you always have that mentality, or is that something that you've had to develop as a muscle and an actor over the years?
A little bit of both. I was always a competitive person. I'm so competitive.
Same.
Anything I do, but I learned to be humble and also like be a great loser. Like, if I lose, then that person deserves to win because I brought my very best. And also, I will make it so hard for everybody else to not win because I want to shine as well. So going into acting, there's so much competition, especially in LA. When I moved to Los Angeles, it was hard. Some people sometimes they're not nice. They just want to focus on themselves. And when you go, I got to experience the whole in-person audition. And I'm that person that's coming from Charlotte. Hey, how are you? How's everything? How's it going? How y'all? And people will be like, hey, sorry, I'm focusing. And I'm like, what's happening? So
I wouldn't make it. I would make it like 10 minutes and just get back on the
So I
flight.
had to get used to that, and I had to learn to read people and read the room. And I brought all those qualities into Finding Mr. Christmas, just reading the room and just sometimes standing behind and observing how everybody is. But the first day was just so awesome meeting all these people from different backgrounds, and the first impression was automatically like, I love this guy, I love this guy, I love everybody. Everyone brought something different. Like Jonathan Bennett casted this group to the T. Like he nailed it.
I mean, that has to make you feel really great too, looking back at an actor who's been in so many different things and is now kind of a Hallmark king himself. You know, that has to feel really great that you were handpicked by him. What was the reaction when you got the email, you got the notice that you were actually going to be on Hallmark sets?
Well, like I mentioned before, the process was
Ruling.
so long. And then I remember there was like 2-3 weeks before we had to fly, and I didn't get the confirmation. And I decided to text Lindsay, hey, have you found any news? Like, I'm here waiting. Am I
Right.
in? Should I pack my stuff? Should I not? I just want to know if I need to hold the dates. And then she called me. It's like, hey, we're still trying to figure it out. I don't know. Then we hang up the phone, and I'm with my wife, and she starts getting notifications on Instagram, like Jonathan Bennett just like this post, this post, this post, but she didn't tell me. And I'm like, what's happening? I don't know. And then Lindsay calls right away and says, like, by the way, we just found out you're in. So I was without words. I was excited. Like, time stopped. I was like, really? I'm going to be in national television. I'm going to be in Hallmark. I'm going to get to meet the famous Jonathan Bennett. And I was so happy. That was one of the happiest days of my life.
That's incredible. And the fact that you got to share it with your wife, Mary, is incredible. And I think we have to talk about her. Shout out to Mary, who's over there. I think Hallmark is such a great place for you because you have your own love story.
Yes.
And the fact that you guys are both in this industry together is really special and really unique. But I think we all have to ask, like, okay, if you're the hunka Hallmark, like, how is that in your relationship? What does that look like? I've always wondered, I'm like, okay, if these actors have to go kiss people and be Mr. Christmas on TV, how do you talk about that at home? Because if somebody even sits too close to somebody I'm dating, I'm like, I'll kick you right down the peel.
Well, thankfully, my wife and I are super happy for one another. She's also an actress and model, and I met her modeling. In the first years of my career, I wanted to get into acting and modeling, and she was so nice to befriend me and bring me into like this fashion show that we had to rehearse for like a month. And during that month, we talked about her ex, my ex. We became friends. We created that genuine
Friendship.
friendship, and like a structure, a fundamental structure that till this day we're so blessed to tell other people that that's the main key in any relationship. You become friends with someone, you develop that structure, and nothing will ever destroy that. So then when we go into acting and modeling, whenever she's kissing someone or I'm kissing or posing with someone, whether it's modeling or whatnot, it's our career. Is well, we're faking a character. We're portraying something else.
Right.
But then when we go home, we leave work out of the house, and then we come home to like being ourselves. We're Angel and Mary at home, and we just love each other, our dogs, and yeah.
Yay, doggies. Okay, first of all, Hallmark, whoever the producers are, it's Angel and Mary. They need their own Hallmark show. And you need a fun best friend to come in and make sure they throw in one-liners. So I'm not saying we have your full plan, but I'm saying we're really
You could be the Melissa Peterman of Hallmark.
I should play like Melissa Peterman's like daughter or like cousin or something. Yes,
Yeah, there we
we've
go.
got so many plans. Stick with us.
I'll
Stick with us.
introduce you to her. She's so sweet.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So obviously, like getting surrounded by these people, I love the fact that you talked about having that core friendship at the core of your relationship. And it sounds like that's really kind of bled into everything else that you've done is just that love at the core mentality. So I obviously want to shift to the love from your amazing mom. I think we have to talk about her, the fact that you mentioned that she was a single mom. We've had some really kick-ass moms on this show. So we are big fans. And even though I'm not a mom person yet or a mom figure yet, I have so much respect for just women who are mothers. And I'd love to hear about yours and just her bringing you here to America. And what does that journey look like for you too?
First of all, every time I talk about my mom, I get so full with love. She's my rock. She brought me to America. She's a single mother. My dad and my mom got divorced when I was 12. I have also a full sister that's 3 years older than me. And I remember we were little and she moved to America first to do study abroad.
Wow.
So it was me and my mom in Venezuela for a year and a half. And I remember those years were tough. She was working all day and I was somewhat raising myself. She trusted me that I will eat and do my homework.
Yes.
And me being a little rebel, did the opposite. I will go out and skateboard. And I remember I flunked a year and I had to repeat that year, which, by the way, that's another story. That was the best year because in that school year, people were bullying me at the time. And when I flunked that year, I got to meet all these wonderful new students that were kind and nice to me. And anyways, that led to my mom deciding, all right, I miss my daughter. I need a better place for my son to grow up, and I need to take them to America. Plus, my mom has sisters in Charlotte and Kentucky, so that's why we came to Charlotte.
Wow.
And when we got here, she still had to work. I remember she would work the overnight shift and come home to make breakfast for us to wake up and go to school. So I remember I need to make my mom's life easier and not ask her for anything. I started getting a job and respecting all the sacrifice she's done, and she's done so much for me. She and my sister allow me to see how women should be treated, how men should behave, and I'm just proud.
You should be very proud. We're like 10 minutes in, we're already crying. We said we were going to get branded tissues for the show, and one day we actually will. But
Yeah.
I love the fact that you can talk about your mom with so much love. And I think that just shows your heart even more and why it's perfect for Hallmark, whoever is watching, because you do just have that genuine love in your heart. And I know that you give that to Mary, your wife. But
Yeah.
when you lead with that, has that ever been tough? Like in an industry that's hard. It's a tough industry. It's grueling. I admire people who are actors and actresses so much because, that love isn't always, the industry doesn't always love you back. So like, how do you channel that genuine love, that kindness that you have in your heart into an industry that necessarily doesn't always give that to you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What was I thinking when I got into acting?
You love a challenge. You
I
said
love a
you love a
challenge. I
challenge.
think that's why. But I don't know. I remember me moving to LA from Charlotte and not having my mom and family around me. It was gonna be tough. Thankfully, I was with my wife. We were currently dating at the time, so I already had one of my rocks with me. But you still need that foundation, that support system, especially in a huge city like Los Angeles. You need your love, your support. So I remember meeting wonderful people telling me if you're to make it, you need a support system. You need friends or families because this is a crazy city and it will beat you to the ground. And when you're really low and need that love and support, that's who you hold on to. So then my wife and I started creating this wonderful network and friendships that were genuine, that reminded us of where we come from. And till this day, we're close to them and we call them family, and they're our LA family.
Love that.
And yeah, I think that because of them, we got to survive 13 years in Los Angeles. And I always take that to me for any role or any audition that I'm doing.
Yeah. Like you said, it just sounds like from so many different chapters of your life, you continued to just build and brew this really beautiful experience that you get to take with you every day. And, I love the fact that you talk about how your mom showed you how to treat women, how to treat other people with love and respect, because I think that, always tying it back to Hallmark is something that we all love, is like there is a happy ending, that we know there's going to be conflict, but we know at the end there's going to be that love. We're going to save the sugar cookie factory, the Christmas tree will be in the middle of the square, all that good stuff. Yeah. And
I also want to shout out to my wife because yes, my mom raised me to be a wonderful gentleman, but have met someone like my wife whose mom raised her to be who she is, she has taught me so much. And whenever I'm going somewhere that I don't need to go, she stands in there and tells me, nope, that's not the right way. That's not the right path. Remember where we come from. So she's another person that has shifted me on the right direction. Now,
We love you, Mary. So, like you said, just surrounding yourself with the right people is so key and so paramount. But has it ever been a time where you knew you had to walk away from a friendship or walk away from a situation that was that, like you said, was
yes.
tempting and was hard, especially like you said, 13 years in LA, like in an industry that can be challenging. So, do you think that made you stronger as a person, having to walk away from things?
Yes, walking away from friendships or relationships or opportunities have been tough because it's tentative. It's just like the devil's tempting you, and you just want to get a little taste, but then your instinct, your human instinct, your heart, something tells you no, which could be God, it could be a sign, it could be anything. And us as humans have to read those signs. And thankfully, I have done it because I could have easily go in so many weird directions in my career that I haven't. And I have so many stories. Let's talk about people. I've met wonderful people at the time that on picture and on person look perfect, but within time you get to know them and you get to see who they really are. And then sometimes my wife and I are like, this doesn't belong with our values, with our energy, and we should just derive from that, like go somewhere, like stop talking to this person,
Yeah.
go away from it. And so many people in LA have tried to get into our circle, and
Such you back in.
it's not like we're picky. It's just that's
I think you're
we
discerning.
like natural things. If it happens natural, great. But then sometimes if it's push or the energy is not right, we sometimes we don't even do anything. It just doesn't happen because it's not meant to be.
Yeah.
And in a city like LA, there's so many people that want to sometimes use you, um, do something with you, and then leave. I'm like, no, we're humans. We have souls. Just you should not talk to us if you want something from us. You should talk to us because you genuinely want to be our friends, want to interact with us, and maybe cooperate or what's the word I'm looking for?
Collaborate maybe?
Collaborate.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like you said, like there's a difference in coming to somebody, especially in your industry and in our industry like media, TV. It's great to want to reach out and kind of shoot your shot, so to speak. But once you have that opportunity or that, like, foster that friendship, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
don't just
what
say
are the
like, oh,
plans?
hey, can you get me that email to that one agent, and then never speak to me again. Yeah.
Yes. So you know what I'm talking about.
Well,
A little bit.
yeah, exactly. I support people wanting to reach out and wanting to learn, and why not? Like that's how you do get to the next step. But I think where you maintain growth is, like you said, when you foster those friendships, when you foster those relationships, versus just saying, "Hey, Angel, can you tell me who cast you in this Hallmark movie," and then never speak to you again? Because I think that's where you might be on the bridge, but then you burn it right out from underneath yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
So
get
what,
me.
what advice would you give for somebody? Because I know we probably have so many young actors watching, or maybe somebody who wants to get into that kind of world. But if they want to reach out and they want to connect with people in their own circles, how can they do it professionally and kindly?
I would say just be yourself. Don't try to project someone that you're not, and generally reach out to that person. Look, I would love to get more information about how to get involved in certain aspects of this business, and maybe we can grab coffee and talk more about this specific opportunity, and maybe I can dig in your brain and talk about things because maybe you inspire me to be better. Like if you come out from a place of love, the opportunities are gonna be so big. But if you come from a place of wanting something and then disposing that person, that's just wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you just come from a place of love, I think the
Always.
universe will reward you there. And when we're looking back at, the opportunities that you've gotten along the way, but even before acting, you mentioned that you were an athlete. And so those are two, again, you do love a challenge because that's also a world that sometimes is not super kind, is the world of sports. So can we kind of go back to the soccer field
course,
and talk
yes.
about how that's played into you becoming a really resilient actor that you are?
Yeah, so I've been playing soccer all my life. I still play it till this day on the weekends.
What position?
Midfield
Okay.
and sometimes forward. I like to create opportunities of goal and help my teammates. But I played in high school here in Charlotte, in North Mecklenburg, and then I played in a club, I think Davidson club. And then after that, I went to play soccer at a college level in South Georgia College. And then I did my 2 years there. I also ran cross country. And
All the running sports, I'm like, not,
know, it
not
was
catch me
a
off.
lot
either.
of running.
Lots of running.
then I came back to Charlotte and I wanted to um, pursue the same alignment that my friend Makumba Kanji did, because he also immigrated from Senegal here to Charlotte, and he did the same steps: high school, college, and then play semi-pro. So right before tryouts, I went on a pickup game and I tore my meniscus, and I cried like a baby because obviously it hurt, but it was my
You
career
knew what it
in
meant.
front of my eyes, just saying goodbye. And I don't know. After that, I wanted to do something else, and that was as challenging and fulfilling. And that's where I started modeling and acting. But I bring my soccer knowledge to anything I do, because in everything you do, you gotta work as a team. You gotta be um, disciplined, and always just being perseverance with anything I do, and working hard and preparing. So
Yeah. I love the fact that we had a very similar, we were talking before the show, we had a very similar pivot because I went from playing volleyball to finally when I retired looking up and saying, okay, so now what am I doing? And somebody said, you'd probably be pretty good on TV. I started interviewing my teammates and somebody was like, you'd be good at this. And I was like, great, how to be a TV host, literally. And we were laughing about it, but it's such a similar shift, I think, from performing. Like you said, you have a high level of competitiveness. You do have to work as a team, but there's a performance aspect to it that I was missing. There was just something about, I didn't have an audience. I wasn't performing for anyone that I missed. Like, it sounds a little egotistical, but I think it was just the reality of me. And I wanted an audience. I always say I'm like Tinkerbell, like I'll just fall on the floor if no one's clapping. So I was missing that, and TV allowed for that, and even more opportunity because I was able to tell other people's stories that might not have been shared. So it sounds like you went from,
look at you.
I was like, look at us.
You're doing
Look at us.
great.
We did it. We're doing it. We're doing it. And so, I mean, when you have your 15th Hallmark movie and you're celebrating a big Angel anniversary, we'll do this again and it'll be great. So I love the fact that was your path. And along the way, did you ever see opportunities for people to maybe be more open to the fact that you had immigrated here? Because you were mentioning to me earlier about the way you speak, your accent and things like that, which I think we all believe are beautiful. But I know that I've talked to people on the show before who shied away from camera simply because they were worried about how they would sound. To me, it sounds incredible, but I think there's sometimes a self-consciousness there. And I would just love for you to share with people that everyone should be able to
Well,
have space on camera.
Till this day, I have an inner battle with myself about how I sound, and I always tell myself, "You already got the job. You already are doing it." Always talk positively about yourself, and forget about what others think. I had to really work hard on that, especially the first few years in Los Angeles, because people want you to be perfect. You're I don't want to say competing, but you're literally competing with thousands and thousands of people that move daily to Los Angeles to pursue this career, whether it's hosting, acting, modeling. You have to always come on top. And if you self-sabotage yourself, it's going to show on camera. It's going to show. And I would tell you from personal experience, just just let go. Let go. And I'm telling myself the same thing right now. Just let go. Just get loose. Have fun. Smile. Remember where you come from, and you're gonna be okay.
Yeah. So all you can do is really, like you said, just show up and being Angel on set. And I'm so glad that you shared that with everybody, because I really do want people to know, whether you're a small business owner, whether you have your own brand, whatever it is, you also belong on camera. Your story also deserves to be told. And I think accents, just like hair color or facial structure or your outfit, it's just a little part of you, which I think is great. And that's what makes us unique. Because if we all sounded and looked the same, like, that would be super boring. It would just be 50 Shades of Beige every single day on the show. And that's so boring. But I just wanted to hear that from you, because you've had to walk in that path. And I just think it's important for everybody to know that they deserve their space on, whether it's TV or the internet, but to share their story.
Yeah, I had to learn something that stuck to myself. Everyone is different. We are made different. There's something, we may have the same color, the same voice, the same height, weight, whatever it is, but your soul is different. Your spirit, your background, the way you think is different. So you are unique already. God made you unique. So why not let it shine so people can enjoy watching your uniqueness?
Exactly. Just being you. And I think that's so fun, coming from an actor who literally plays other characters. But I think it's Angel as whoever that character is,
Yeah.
right?
Sometimes I like to start with the base Angel and then start adding color to it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing that Angel shared with me was that you actually started learning some of your English by watching Hallmark movies, which is why I think this is such an incredible first full circle moment that you are now on Finding Mr. Christmas. So tell me about your first Hallmark movie experience. When did you ever see your first one? Do you remember?
I don't remember the first exact movies, but I remember just we have a huge tradition in Charlotte and Kentucky every Christmas or Thanksgiving. My two aunts that are established here in Charlotte and Kentucky, they switch back and forth. It's like, oh, we'll do Thanksgiving this year and then Christmas at your place. And whether it's in Kentucky or Charlotte, we watch movies, we play games, we get together. It's like 50 of us in one household.
So fun.
And obviously the kids go to the basement or to the game room and play games, video games, but sometimes right after tea time or before dinner or after dinner we watch movies, and it will be a Hallmark, it's a Christmas movie,
Right.
or a classic Christmas movie. So I would just sit and watch, and in the first few years I didn't know what I was watching, what I was listening to, but then the love story, the what do you call it, ornaments, the decorations, the love, you can just tell it in their eyes,
Yes.
in their faces. And then little by little each year it started making sense, and then I started understanding more, and then just learning. And what a good way to be raised by, because I was raised by movies and Hallmark, and it's just beautiful.
I love that. And now you are part of the Hallmark family. So I have to ask you, do you have a favorite Hallmark movie, or at least one of your favorite Hallmark
Yes.
movies? I know it's hard to pick. Like, I have so many that I love.
My favorite Hallmark movie is A Biltmore Christmas.
So good.
There's so much history at Biltmore. I go there just about every year. My wife and I sometimes take road trips. Doesn't matter what time of the season, if we're in Charlotte, but now we're back in Charlotte, so we're gonna do it more often. And watching that movie and being at the Biltmore, it just represents home in North Carolina. Also, my sister got proposed at the Biltmore, so shout out to my sister Janina and Rob. So it just brings so many memories.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I think everyone's probably wondering, okay, we've been talking about Hallmark this whole time, but what does it actually look like to be part of a Hallmark experience? Like, take me through, what was it a day like filming? I don't know what it is about Hallmark, but just, I've mentioned this before in the show, I think the apples are shinier, like the sky is brighter, the sun is sparklier. I don't know what happens on set, but everything's just prettier in Hallmark life.
Yeah, man, each episode that we filmed was wonderful and unique. Just on episode one, when we got to meet each other and all the guys, um, doing the first Santa outfit, then going from there to the Salt Lake City ski, how do you call it, slopes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I knew that we were gonna be on skis, and I was self-sabotaging myself. It's like, I don't know how to ski. I'm gonna fall.
Oh, I
I'm gonna
can't ski.
fall. I'm gonna fall. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I fell.
Well, you're like, there was some tumbling down a hill. Got it.
But funny story, they edited in a way that I only fell. But when I went down, I took Janelle Parrish with me down. I took the guest judge and actress down with me.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember in my head, there's one chance. They told us from the get-go, we're only gonna have one take. No one's gonna yell cut, so that's it. So I had to get up. I had to, like, you know what, Angel, you only have one take. Get up, get up, get up. So we finally got up, and I went through the whole scene, and I got to go to the next round. But man, I'm just going first. I went first too.
Wow. You're like, this never had skis on my feet in my life and no pressure.
Oh, that was difficult. And then each episode just gets difficult, and Jonathan Bennett just always has a twist. And then Melissa Peterman just being funny. She's hilarious, by the way. She's just so good at what she does.
Yes, she's incredible. Who are some of the other Hallmark people that you'd seen before in movies that you got to meet during this filming?
Hunter King. She's gonna be on episode 5 next Monday. So I'm excited for everyone to watch this episode because we are paired on threes, and we get to be directors and producers, and no one's telling us what to do. They're just giving us the script, and we get to rehearse it and place each person on their marks. And
Oh, wow.
they're trusting us, and
Yeah.
that's how they're judging us
Okay.
on teamwork. So let's see. Maybe you'll see if I do great or not.
Well, I know you're going to do great. So if you were looking at like a day in the life while you're on set, what time are you getting up? What time are you going to bed? What does that look like?
Okay, wow. The first episode took the longest. It's 10 guys.
This is the day they arrived at the house or the cabin.
That episode took 2 full days to
Wow.
film. It was from 6 a.m. call time to like 9 p.m. and then the next day same at 6 p.m. It was like long hours. But everyone had energy. We just had energy from just being there. We're on Hallmark. We're doing this,
Yeah.
guys. So even though we started to get tired, we somehow pull a third win and
Powered through.
Powered through.
And there was another episode where there was a very holly jolly talent show, if you will, and your talent was bachata, so incorporating dancing. And it was funny because there's a part where Angel's up on stage and he says, you know, can I have a volunteer? First of all, Melissa Peterman just tries to like run out on stage. Jonathan pulls her back and is like, no, we need someone from the audience. And this was all you. Was this in one take? Was it almost kind of like feeling like you were doing a live performance?
Again, it's all in one take.
Oh, wow.
And obviously, you talk to the producer, assistant. It's like, okay, what's your talent? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna need? For instance, Rusting needed a microphone and his guitar, and then the other guys needed other stuff. Like Marcus needed a big table angle to the audience for his magic trick.
Yep.
And then I was hesitating. What do? I know how to play guitar as well. My vocals are not as great as Rustin, so I had to cancel that out of the question, out of the equation. Then I was like, all right, what do I do? And I was like, all right, let's dance. My wife told me, just dance.
Yeah.
You're pretty good at dancing. So I just had to pick a random person from the audience, and I remember her name, Kelly, and she was so sweet, and she was pretty good at following up.
Yeah, she did great. You both did. So I have to ask you, when you're looking back at all these different challenges and everything that you've done up to this point, what do you think really stands out to you as maybe like the most challenging part that you've taped so far?
Out of the entire season. Okay, wow. The most challenging thing, I would say the festive face-off on episode 4, where I got to win. It was the first time I won, but it didn't look like I was gonna win. I thought it was slip and slide. So from the get-go, they said, "All right, ready, set, go." And I jumped thinking I was gonna slide all the way to the bottom, and I got stuck. I said, "All right," I was slipping and sliding. But it was still slippery. So then I tried so many things and I couldn't get it. And then I saw Gabriel running up and down. I was like, "All right, you need momentum and you need speed."
Yeah.
So then that's when he clicked. All right, you play sports, you ran cross country, you got this. So then I got one, and then on the second one, I had the momentum, but people started falling and getting on my way. And if you move a little to the right, you lose momentum, and that's when couldn't get all the way to the top, and I dropped the candy cane.
Right.
So then I was all right. I'm running out of breath because we're in high altitude in Utah.
Yep.
I noticed all my teammates that are so tired and like out of breath, and even Gabriel, who already got 2,
Right.
was out of breath. And I was like, all right. I literally almost gave up. I was like, I'm done. And then I saw Gabriel running for the win, and he slowed down and didn't make it. And that clicked on my head. All right, he didn't make it. You still have a chance. That's when I gave it all. I told myself, I'm going to do this whether I die or not.
You never know when that sports athlete mentality is going to kick back in. You're like, I am a grown man running with other grown men up and down a slippery slope trying to fight for candy canes, but this is literally the hill I'll die on.
That's how I was going. I was talking to myself in that moment. All right, I have one chance. And I gave it all I had, and I made it to the top, and then all I had to do was grab the other one, and I got it at the right time. And then the cameras didn't show this, maybe because it's Hallmark. They don't want to see people, they almost are passing out. But I was passing out. I had oxygen masks. Me and Gabriel were down on the floor for a good minute, and for a good hour or 2 hours. So we had to hold on.
Oh my God.
Before we continued taping. And I remember they gave me an oxygen tank. He's like, take this when you go to bed. And
Yeah, this is the reality part of the reality show that we didn't get to see.
some things don't make it to the final cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that was fun though. Regardless, I had a great experience, and it brought me back to competing at a level where you use physicality. And I grew up doing soccer, cross country. I played baseball in Venezuela, and my inner child is happy.
Good. That makes me happy to hear that your inner child is happy. Now, one thing that we always want to ask our guests before they go is, when you're looking at your life right now as you see it, when you're either going to set at Hallmark or when you're at home with your wife, Mary, what is it that fills your cup every single day?
Wow, what a good question.
You hear that, boss? I'm good at this.
What fills up my cup every day is knowing that I have life, my wife, my family, and health. Because with everything that's happening in the world, we just gotta be happy and blessed that we still have a roof over our heads, that we're still eating, and that we're still healthy and still alive in this day and age, because someone else has it rougher than you, and we just gotta count our blessings. And that makes me happy.
Yeah. I think that is a very full cup. And thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being part of Coffee and Conversations. I'm really happy that we've had you. It wouldn't be
you for
Coffee and
having me.
Conversations unless there were tears. I promise we have fun on here. It's great. Angel, really, we're so proud of you here in Charlotte. And I'm so proud of you for just going on screen, being exactly who you are, exactly who your mama raised you to be, and your aunties. I absolutely love that for you. And we are all pulling for you here. you are going to always be our Mr. Christmas here in the Queen City. You can count on that.
Thank you so much for having me. I had such a blast talking to you.
Okay, welcome back anytime. Everyone, please remember to just go out there, care for each other, fill up each other's cups. We hope that you brew something big, bold, and beautiful and light your own fire today. We'll see you next time on Coffee and Conversations. To everybody out there, thank you so much for joining me for Coffee and Conversations. Now, if you want more stories of motivation, inspiration, and empowerment that can fill up your cup when it's empty, no matter where you are, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more.